Okay, so for this question, we have a sketch the domain corresponding to the integral. So first things first, we have negative infinity to infinity on the xy plane. So first things first, we draw the xy plane, but a y, but an x, and then realize that negative infinity to infinity for both just means that this is fully covered, every quadrant out to infinity. So what that means for polar coordinates, right? We have to have a theta and an r. So our theta here will run from 0 to 2 pi because this goes around the whole thing, right? So we're going to have an integral from 0 to 2 pi. And our r goes all the way out to infinity. So that's going to go from 0 to infinity. Next thing is we change this x squared plus y squared, which is just equal to an r squared. So we get e to the negative r squared, and then dx dy turns into r dr d theta. Looking at this, we can say, hey, there's no theta, so 2 pi out in front, 0 to infinity of r e to the negative r squared dr. So at this point, we're going to need to do integration by parts. Let u equal r squared, du equal 2r dr, and to have r and dr by itself, we're going to do 1/2 du equals r dr. So now you can just go ahead and plug that directly in. R dr turns into du. You need the 1/2, so pi turns into, or 2 pi turns into pi. And then it's just 0 to infinity of e to the negative u. And that's our fully converted problem. Notice it is 0 to infinity. The limits change, but r of 0 is a u value of 0, and r of infinity gives you a u value of infinity. So the limits end up being the same, but if it was something different, they would change. So from here, we can go and integrate. And so the reverse chain says that this is negative e to the negative u from 0 to infinity. The graph for e looks something like that. So on its way to negative infinity, e turns into 0. So pi is negative 0 minus, and then e to the 0 is just 1. So, and e to the negative 1 is still 1 because it's just 1 over 1. So this is just 1, and it's negative. So these become positive, meaning pi is multiplied by 1, and the answer is pi.